I'm about to make a bold claim, and then I'm going to prove it to you. Ready? King Solomon's 3,000-year-old financial wisdom will outperform every modern investment guru, every crypto bro, and every passive income scheme on the internet. How do I know? Because I tested it for 30 years. And at 56, I retired, debt-free, financially secure, and completely free from the 9-to-5 grind that still has my former co-workers trapped. This video isn't theory. It's not motivational fluff. It's a case study, my case study. And by the end, you're going to see exactly why Solomon's strategy of little by little beats the modern obsession with get-rich-quick every single time. Let's begin. I'm 58 years old. I've been retired for 2 years and completely debt-free since I was 50. While I'm sitting here recording this video, doing what I want when I want, my former co-workers are still showing up to the same job. The same toxic managers, the same hard labor, the same complaints they had 10 years ago. And here's what makes this interesting. They made more money than me. They drove newer cars than me. They took bigger vacations than me. So why am I free and they're still trapped? That's the question I'm going to answer in this video. And the answer is going to challenge everything you think you know about building wealth. Because while they were living like they were rich, I was quietly following a principle written 3,000 years ago by the wealthiest king in human history. Proverbs 21 says, "The plans of the diligent lead surely to abundance, but everyone who is hasty comes only to poverty." They were hasty. I was diligent. They wanted it now. I was willing to wait. And that difference, that one difference, is why I'm here and they're still there. Let me paint you a picture of what I watched happen over 30 years. My co-workers would get their paychecks, and within days, sometimes hours, that money was already spent. New truck, new boat, new clothes. And it's all debt. Making payments with high interest, credit card debt, living payday to payday. Over time, I watched one close friend buy 15 different suits for formal and upscale events. 15. And you know what happened? He wore maybe 3 of them regularly. The rest just hung in his closet, tags still on some of them, waiting for an occasion that never came. When he eventually passes away, those suits will end up at Goodwill donation, going to strangers. Someone else will be wearing what he bought. Thousands of dollars for nothing. Another friend used to brag about eating steak at expensive restaurants every weekend. And I mean every weekend. He'd tell me how much he spent. $80, sometimes $100 for a single meal. And one day, he said something I'll never forget. "I'm getting tired of steak. It's not even exciting anymore." Think about that. He spent so much money chasing pleasure that the pleasure itself became boring. This is what Solomon warned about in Ecclesiastes. "He who loves money will not be satisfied with money, nor he who loves wealth with his income." They were chasing satisfaction in possessions. And possessions can never satisfy. Here's where this gets interesting for you specifically. Because I'm guessing you've felt this too. You've bought something you thought would make you happy. The new phone, the new shoes, the new gadget. And within weeks, maybe even days, you realized it didn't change anything. The excitement faded, and you were right back where you started. Solomon called this chasing after the wind. And my co-workers, they chased it for 30 years straight. So what did I do? I followed a different principle. Proverbs 13:11. "Wealth gained hastily will dwindle, but whoever gathers little by little will increase it." Little by little. Not get rich quick. Not hustle culture. Not manifest your millions. Little by little. Here's what that looked like practically. First, I lived frugally, but I did not suffer or struggle. Let me be crystal clear about this, because people misunderstand frugality. They think it means driving a beat-up car, eating ramen every night, and never enjoying life. That's not what I did. I drove nice cars, top-of-the-line vehicles, BMWs, Lexus, Mercedes. But here's the key. I bought them used. 2 to 3 years old. Let someone else take the 30 to 40% depreciation hit. I got the quality, the comfort, the reliability without the ridiculous price tag. People would see me pull up and think I was doing well. And I was. But I was doing well and being smart about it. I ate well. My family never went hungry. But we didn't eat at overpriced restaurants every weekend. We planned our restaurant visits, we made them special. And because we didn't do it all the time, when we did go out, it was actually exciting. It meant something. My coworkers were so used to eating out that it became mundane, expected, boring. I experienced more joy from fewer experiences because I hadn't numbed myself to them. Second, I rejected the if-only trap. You know this trap. If only I had that new car, then I'd be happy. If only I had that bigger house, then I'd be content. I watch people fall into this over and over again. They'd save up, buy the thing, and within months, sometimes weeks, they'd realize it didn't deliver what they thought it would. Regret would set in. They'd bought something they didn't think through. Solomon addressed this in Matthew 6. Do not lay up for yourselves treasures on earth where moth and rust destroy. Now, I'm not going to pretend that's the full meaning of that verse, but here's what I took from it. Life is not about possessions. Possessions are temporary. They rust, they decay, they break, they go out of style. But you know what doesn't decay? Memories. Family, experiences that cost nothing. Some of the best times of my life were completely free. Local parks with my daughter, library visits, community events, sitting on the porch talking with my wife, $0 spent, infinite value gained. And this is the part where most people fail, but not you. Here's why. Because you're still watching, which means you're different. You're not looking for the quick fix. You're looking for the real answer. Third, I built wealth the way Solomon taught, strategically and patiently. Every 3 years, I would buy a house, live in it, and then sell it for a profit. I did this 7 times over the course of my working life. Each time, I rolled the equity into the next house. Little by little, my wealth grew. I also invested in CDS when interest rates were high, 5%, sometimes more. I'd lock in the rates, let them compound and roll them over. Nothing flashy, nothing risky, just steady, disciplined growth. At 50, I was completely debt-free, but I didn't retire yet. Why? Because Solomon also taught about margin. Proverbs 21. Precious treasure and oil are in a wise man's dwelling, but a foolish man devours it. I worked 6 more years to build a cushion, a safety net, insurance against the unexpected, and at 56, I walked away. All right, pause for a second. I need to tell you something that the finance industry doesn't want you to know. Are you ready? Wealth isn't built by being smart. It's built by being patient. The stock market gurus won't tell you this because there's no course to sell. The real estate flippers won't tell you this because it's not sexy. But Solomon wrote it down 3,000 years ago. Wealth gained hastily will dwindle, but whoever gathers little by little will increase it. I proved this verse true. I gathered little by little for 30 years, and at 56, I walked away from my job with complete financial freedom. The people who tried to get rich quick, They're still working, still stressed, still broke. Patience wins every single time. Now let me show you what my life looks like today. So where am I now at 58? I wake up when I want. I spend my days on hobbies I actually enjoy, not hobbies I'm too tired to do after a 12-hour shift. I take modest vacations with my wife, nothing extravagant, but meaningful. We're building memories, not Instagram posts. I'm completely debt-free. I have no boss, no toxic coworkers, no alarm clock dictating my life. Here's my financial plan going forward, and I'm sharing this because it shows you that this isn't about being a millionaire. It's about being free. My plan. From 56 to 60, I lived off my savings, the money I'd been building little by little. At 60, I'll start strategically withdrawing from my 401k without penalties. At 62, I'll take Social Security early. Yes, it's reduced, but I've done the math, and it works for my situation. My wife still works, primarily for health insurance, until I'm eligible for Medicare at 65. But her income doesn't fund our lifestyle. I cover all our living expenses myself. We're a team, not a transaction. And in an upcoming video, I will share how having an alliance with my wife made our wealth compound even more. So subscribe to this channel and playlist to hear it all. And here's the long-term vision, the part that connects to Proverbs 13:22. A good man leaves an inheritance to his children's children. At some point, I'll inherit a home from a family member, paid off in full. I'll live in it. And when I'm gone, it goes to my daughter, not as a burden, as a foundation, a head start, a legacy. That's generational thinking. That's Solomonic wisdom. Now watch what happens when you apply this principle the way Solomon intended. You stop living for today and start building for tomorrow, not in a way that robs you of joy now. I've enjoyed my life immensely, but in a way that creates options. My former coworkers, they have no options. They have to work until 65, maybe longer. They're one medical emergency away from financial disaster. Me, I have margin. I have flexibility. I have freedom. The math worked. The wisdom was right. Let me address something directly, because I know what some of you are thinking. This sounds like deprivation. This sounds miserable. It's not. I never suffered. I never felt like I was missing out. In fact, I'd argue I experienced more joy than the people who had more stuff. Why? Because I wasn't trapped by my possessions. Think about the guy with 20 shirts in his closet but only wears 3 of them. He spent money on 17 shirts that just take up space. That's not wealth. That's waste. Think about my friend who got tired of eating steak because he did it so often it lost all meaning. He spent thousands of dollars to be bored. I chose a different path. I chose intentionality. When I bought something, I thought it through. I asked myself, will this actually add value to my life, or am I just chasing a feeling? Most of the time, the answer was, I'm just chasing a feeling. So I didn't buy it, and I saved that money, and that money compounded, and eventually it bought me freedom. Here's the paradox of frugality. The less you need to be happy, the richer you actually are. Solomon understood this. Proverbs 30. Give me neither poverty nor riches. Feed me with the food that is needful for me. Not excess, not deprivation, just enough. I have enough, and because I have enough, I'm free. So here's my challenge to you. Everyone watching this video will be in one of 2 categories 5 years from now. Category 1. You'll be exactly where you are today. Same job, same stress, same financial anxiety, wondering why nothing ever changes. Category 2. you'll be 5 years closer to freedom. More saved, less debt, more options, more peace. The only difference between Category 1 and Category 2 is whether you apply what you just learned. Solomon's wisdom doesn't work if you just like the video and move on. It works when you do it. I did it. I'm living proof. I'm 58, retired, and free. My co-workers, still trapped, still in debt, still hating their jobs. They made more money than me, but I made better decisions than them. And that's what this channel is about. Teaching you the decisions that actually work. Not the hacks, not the shortcuts, the system that compounds over time. You can argue with modern finance gurus all day long, but you can't argue with 3,000 years of proven wisdom and a real person standing in front of you who actually lived it. The choice is yours. Choose Category 2. In the next video, I'm going to break down my exact real estate strategy. How I bought and sold the same house 7 times and turned it into a retirement fund. It's a strategy almost nobody talks about, but it works. Subscribe so you don't miss it. I'll see you there. This is what most financial gurus can't afford to teach you. Wisdom that makes you independent of them. Solomonic wealth doesn't require constant guidance, endless courses, or someone directing your every move. If it did, it wouldn't be wisdom. It would be dependency. I never paid for financial secrets. Instead, I applied ancient principles, and I'm living proof they work. Solomonic wisdom is free, because the moment it's sold as a shortcut, it stops being wisdom and becomes another sales tactic. So here's my challenge to you. Everyone watching this video will be in one of 2 categories 5 years from now. Category 1. You'll be exactly where you are today. Same job, same stress, same financial anxiety, wondering why nothing ever changes. Category 2, you'll be 5 years closer to freedom, more money saved and less debt, meaning more options and more peace. The only difference between Category 1 and Category 2 is whether you apply what you just learned. Solomon's wisdom doesn't work if you just like the video and move on. It works when you do it. I did it. I'm living proof. I'm 58, retired, and free. You can argue with modern finance gurus all day long, but you can't argue with 3,000 years of proven wisdom and a real person standing in front of you who actually lived it. The choice is yours. Choose Category 2. I'll see you in the next video, and I'll keep showing you exactly how to get there.